we go. Hello, everybody. It's your boy. It's Meek. Hold on. Let me turn up my mic a little bit. There we go. How's everybody doing? If you read the title of this, that is correct. No sneak meek tonight. I really wanted to. But I woke up very sick this morning. I have gotten progressively better as the day has gone on, but not great. I've pretty much just been sleeping all day. It's kind of been a major bummer. I was hoping today was going to be productive and I was going to be able to start a stream a lot sooner than I did. I was really excited about that actually, and unfortunately, yeah, I pretty much just every time I went to go do anything or sat down for longer than 2 minutes, immediately fell asleep. So we're here. I still wanted to do a little bit of a stream. I didn't want to just send out like another channel note. I actually wanted to like jump on for a little bit. I like hanging out with you guys and talking to you guys. So I was like, you know what? There's some news to talk about right now. We'll talk about the news. You know, we'll discuss some things, hear you guys' thoughts, and then we'll call it. We'll do like a shorter stream. And we'll try to get back to Sneak Meek tomorrow. That is going to be the priority going forward as far as what my gaming streams are going to look like. I really want to get Metal Gear Solid 2 done. For a plethora of reasons. One, I really am excited to get to 3. 2, I am excited to see how this game finishes. 3, you guys seem to really like Metal Gear above all the other games that I've done recently. Not that you guys haven't enjoyed the other games, but like I know you guys really like watching me play Metal Gear. And then, there was a 4th reason. Oh, the 4th reason is actually controls. When I play other games, like if I go play Elden Ring and then go back to Metal Gear, or I play, I don't know, some other game. If I played like Genshin Impact or something, I notice if I stay too long away from Metal Gear, it takes a little bit to get back used to the controls again. And that gets frustrating. I'm like, oh, that's a bummer. I can tell that I'm not used to the controls. It's better for me just to stick with the game that I'm playing and play that all the time. That way I can keep track of the controls better. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go full force, full impact knuckles, balls deep into Metal Gear Solid 2 to get it done. And then it's possible we'll go straight into 3. We'll see. I'm not gonna promise anything yet with that. So. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are having a good evening. We're gonna say hi to everybody in chat, and then we're just gonna get into it. We'll just start talking about stuff. First in the doors, Celluloid Dream says, Meek. What's going on, Celluloid Dream? Always good to see you in chat. Let me bring my mic a little closer to my face. That'll be a little bit better. Charles Devane says, Hail Epic Mike. Thank you so much, Charles. Good to see you in here. Lord Bolton says, something going around. I feel like everyone's sick, including me. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling well either. Yeah, there's probably some stupid bug going around or something. I'm not sure. I woke up and was like, what the frick is this, bro? Rain says, sick like cough cough or sick like badass. It's technically both. It's technically both. I like how Charles Devane says, oh, Africa's, never mind. Yeah, we have, yeah, it's Africa up here. We have Africa conditions up here. It's very warm. It is. I know that you meant AfroCast, but it's still funny that you said Africa. What's up, Turd Ferguson? Welcome in. Dingar Renegade. Hi. Hello, Dingar Renegade. Travis S says late, no Snook Mook. I wish it was Snook Mook. I wish I was feeling well enough to do that, guys. I really do. BJ says, sup, Emperor. What's going on, BJ? Welcome in. Good to see you over on Kick. Glyneth. Welcome in. Good to see you as always. Arcasul says, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, Arcasul? Good to see you, buddy. War Run of Bly says, hail chat. What's going on? Welcome in. General Duality says, hey, everyone. What's going on? Glad to see you in here. Craig Marney says, greetings, people of the Fro. Yes, the Fro people are here. We are here together. Josie A1 of Pureblood says, thumbs up. United States flag, thumbs up, 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 United States flag. Thank you so much, Joe. Good to see you in here, buddy. What's up, Tom Cooper? Says happy. Yeah, well, sicky, but I'm happy to be here talking to you guys. So I see Mike going with the Drake album cover style for his thumbnail. Yeah, I'm running out of thumbnails. I need to get some more artwork done for my thumbnails. Z Hine says, I hope that Meek is one of the guest hosts on GNG Daily. That is very, very likely. Next week we will be having some new hosts, different hosting responsibilities for Geeks and Gamers Daily. And it's very possible your boy will be in one, maybe two of those evenings, maybe more, or those days, maybe more, who knows? I guess you have to keep your eyes peeled. Hoping for a Beardo and Meek and Beardo pairing for host. Yeah, that would be a good one. Thomas Ryan says, what's up? What's going on, Thomas Ryan? Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you over on Kick. Much love to all my Kick supporters. I appreciate the hell out of you guys very much. There's been a lot of like heat on Kick right now because of a lot of different reasons, and there's a lot of people frustrated with Kick, and there's even a lot of content creators that have noticed Kick hasn't been people haven't been getting, you know, their viewership has been dropping on Kick, and there's been all this other stuff going on with Kick, and people have been very frustrated and stuff like that. But I've been very happy, you know, with Kick. I have noticed like a drop, but I also know that a lot of people that were over on Kick are on YouTube right now. But I have a dedicated Kick audience. I see the same names all the time in chat over there, and I appreciate the hell out of you guys for that. Seriously, it means a lot to me. So thank you for being here. Craig Morney says, bro, I'm weirdly sick too. Been feeling a bit shitty yesterday, and it went away, and then I took a nap with my littlest one, and when I woke up, I felt like I swallowed a load from a lava monster. That's exactly what happened to me. So I went to bed last night fine, and then I woke up, and my throat was killing me, and I had to drink like a ton of water to finally get it to go away, and it was just like dry and like swollen, and I was like, what the frick? And then I slept more and woke up and I had a headache and I just felt like nauseous, and it was just awful, dude, all day. So, oh shit. Over on Kick, Celluloid Dream for 1 gifted sub. Thank you so much, Celluloid Dreamer. You didn't have to do that, buddy. I appreciate you. Yeah, I just wanted to give the Kick guys some love. I appreciate it, you know? JB says, play Warhammer 3 or Anno 1800. We're going to play Metal Gear Solid first. And then we'll probably go back to Elden Ring at some point, because I'm getting kind of jealous of everybody playing Elden Ring. But Metal Gear is just a hotter game right now for me and you guys. Like, you guys really enjoy me playing that, so. Imagine if they tried adapting the comics actually sold, but now I'm talking crazy. Yeah, you sound like a crazy person. Craig Morning says, oh, you can do a town management style game or something historical. I love to play those games and watch them. That could be a possibility too. You know, I've heard about Anno 1800. I don't know if I'll play that or not. Maybe. It just depends. Certain games are really good for streaming. Here's the thing, and this is for people that are new that want to get into streaming. There's a couple different philosophies for this, and that's, you know, it just depends. You can either just stream whatever the hell you want to stream, and you just play it on stream and you do it, and interest levels or whatever be damned. That is one way to do it. I'm not saying that that's a bad way to do it. I'm saying that is one way to do it. You just play whatever you want to play. Then there's following the hot game. You know, well, yeah, there's a couple more than 3, but there's following the hot games, whereas a new game comes out, you play those, and you know, you get the interest levels of the people that are curious about that game or have never seen that game before. There's finding a niche game or 1 or 2 niche games. You pick things like Star Citizen, and you only play Star Citizen on your channel, and everybody that likes Star Citizen comes to your channel and they hang out and they play, and you develop a really dedicated Star Citizen channel or whatever the game is. That's, you know, Call of Duty, that happens a lot with Call of Duty. So, and then there's one where, and there's a style where, and I kind of do a hybrid of these two. I do new games, whatever the new hot game is, if I'm interested in it, but then I also try to gauge what you guys are talking a lot about. I've noticed that retro games are one that stands out. Like, at some point we're gonna have to do a Knights of the Republic 1 and 2 gameplay playthrough. You guys seem to love me playing older games. That's something that, and because of the way that I do games, I don't typically play games that are going to take my attention away from you guys a lot. I will occasionally play those games, but the problem with like Call of Duty, for instance, is you have to stay really focused. And the only time that you can talk to chat is when you're in the downtime between games, or you're dead and you're ready to revive and all that stuff. I really like talking to you guys. I really like chat interaction. It's one of my favorite parts of streaming. And so if I can't talk to you guys consistently, I get frustrated and I feel like I'm not doing right by you guys. So I try to pick games that I feel like are going to be interesting for you guys. The other part of it too, with that picking games that I think you guys are interested in, is also picking games that are interesting to watch being streamed. Because the thing is, if you play a game like I love Final Fantasy VI, but if I play Final Fantasy VI, it is not a voiced game. So all of the dialogue is all text-based. So I have a couple options there. I just don't ever, I read out the text out loud, I voice act the text for you guys, or I don't read the text at all, like to you guys, and I just read it myself, and you guys just have to rely on reading it yourselves to watch the game happen. I particularly don't like that kind of stuff. I don't like those kind of games for streaming. I don't think they work particularly well. Also, really, really immersive games like The Witcher 3. Those games can be interesting, but they want you to be immersed in the world a lot. And so I find that they've actually make it difficult to stream with an audience and engage with audiences because you're so focused on the game and you're so immersed in the game. But like Metal Gear, we go through a section, I'm freaking out, it's crazy, I can pause it, I can stop, I can talk to you guys, we can have like an interesting conversation about what's coming, things like that, and you guys are watching me, you know, it's fully voiced, so you guys get to hear the characters talk, things like that. It's a lot more fun for everybody, it's a lot more fun for me, I don't know, so that's kind of how I look at it. So yeah, Emily Kruger says happy Friday. Hi Emily Kruger, welcome in. King Deplorable says doing well. Hail Mike, hail chat. Well, welcome in, man. JLV Gnome says, hey Epic Mike, my asthma's acting up, but hanging in there. Well, bro, I hope it calms down soon for you. I hope you start feeling better, man. Astro Roth says, I am indeed down with the sickness. Hell yeah. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. General Duality said, I got woken up by police sirens and gunfire at 3 this morning. That was exciting. I had to miss work today. Luckily, I'm good. Holy crap, that's scary, bro. Deflect15 says, hi, I'm Mike. I hope all is well. Another game franchise recommendation, if you ever feel you want to change things up, is Yakuza series. I have heard about the Yakuza series. I think they're all on Game Pass. Kiryu Kazuma stands strong among the heroes of gaming. I'll have to remember that. Jose Taco says, dang, I'm really late. Oh, you're fine, buddy. It's okay. Kick needs an Apple TV app. I agree with you. Joanna, how do I pronounce this? Joanna Vikish? Vikish? I don't know. You gotta help me pronounce your last name, okay, Joanna? But thank you so much for being here. I hope I feel better soon too. I'm gonna try. So, Cellular Dream says, I will support Meek on Kick. I'm doing my part. Stone Cold's beer cooler. Give me a hell yeah. Says, I'm drunk. Hope you feel better. Steve Rogers, Captain America. Sam Wilson is Falcon. Clark Kent is Superman. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And Miles Morales is Miles Morales. It's wild. That's allergies, bro. Yeah, that's what it feels like. Grego says AfroCast. Welcome in, Gregos. Z Highness says sleeping for 11 to 13 hours is the best. I like sleeping, but I also hate it. I hate how much time I lose when I sleep. So oh man, that's good. I had to I'm trying to stay hydrated as much as possible. So all right, I'm gonna scroll down. If I see anything particularly popping out, I'll keep going, but now we'll try to catch up. You gotta put Metal Gear Rising Revenge, Mike. Do it for the memes. We'll probably try that out. Brother, ooh, what's that, brother? Get well soon, thank you. KOTOR would be fun, yeah. Zelda Link to the Past would be an awesome game to play. Okay. I'm gonna have to get a list of games and play stuff like that. So probably going to depth as why cable TV is dying, doing graphics and etc. I mean, I could definitely do a whole stream on that one. Yeah, God bless folks that can multitask on that level, chatting and playing high focus games at the same time. Yeah, it's a lot, man. You need a producer to read the chat to you like Razor Fist. That would not be a bad idea, actually. We need a Chrono Trigger playthrough. I do own Chrono Trigger on Steam. So, give us your best Celeste voice. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that, bro. What's going on, Cam Man? Welcome in. Dylan D says, hey, Mike and chat. You're sick too, huh? Yeah, bro. It seems like it's going around, man. Beer Cooler, you forgot Pliskin is Pliskin. You guys, that's wild. The gaslighting that's happening from Pliskin about Pliskin. is wild. Speaking of gaslighting, so we got a new trailer out today. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen it. If you haven't, we're going to check it out. Are the geniuses, the unparalleled geniuses over at Marvel, have given us a trailer for Captain America Brave New World. Oh boy, is this one a doozy. So we're going to check this out. I've already watched it once. I have not watched it a second time. We're going to watch it together, and then we're going to talk about it, because I do think I have some thoughts. You know, I do have some thoughts about it, and you may be surprised to hear what those are. You may also not be surprised to hear what those are. So let's check this out real quick. I don't like that. How much time I lose while I sleep. Sleep is an integral part of life. Sleep is healing. I mean, I know that, but I also, part of me goes like, I like my time, and I don't like not having time. And so I sleep, and then time is gone. It's like a weird, it's a love-hate relationship. So let's check this out real quick. What's going on, Trucker Rob? Welcome in, buddy. All right, this is Captain America Brave New World.
Wilson. Thanks for coming in.
Well, thank you for the invite, sir. I have to admit, I'm still getting used to the new look.
They said lose the mustache or lose the election.
So this is something I really want to point out. I'm certainly not plotting something. You are always plotting something, Trucker Rob. I want to point something out about this trailer already. So obviously, Harrison Ford replaced William Hurt as General Thunderbolt Ross. I get why they did it, you know, and I get why you want to take a whole high-profile actor to replace William Hurt, because you don't want you know, you want people to be interested in this movie. You want people to come back to this movie. But it's funny because, bro, we're making a reference about William Hurt being dead is wild, right? But what's interesting and kind of funny too is I saw somebody on Twitter post, you know, how annoyed they kind of were about the fact that they have no qualms about giving a little nod to replacing Thunderbolt Ross and recasting that character, and then refusing to recast T'Challa. And what an insult that was. And somebody was like, well, it's different because T'Challa died young and from cancer. Well, William Hurt may not have been young, but he also died from cancer. He died unexpectedly. Saw that on Twitter. People are fucking stupid. I just think it's interesting because, once again, you know, Disney isn't fighting and arguing about why they recast this character. I get he's a smaller secondary character, but the idea behind it is still the same. We recast a character because the actor died, but the character was important enough to us to use in a storyline. So instead of letting him stay dead or gone or whatever, we brought him back. But yet, despite the head nod from Chadwick Boseman's family, despite other people that were fans of Chadwick Boseman or friends of him saying, yes, we would like to see him recast. We think T'Challa should live on. We think that the legacy of T'Challa should be honored. They just refuse to do that. They're like, nope. We're not doing that. This is our perfect opportunity to get Shuri into the costume. We're not recasting T'Challa. We're just going to ignore all of that. He's dead. He's gone. And that's what in the MCU now. And I think it's kind of a bit of an insult to Chadwick Boseman to say, yeah, we'll recast these characters, but not these characters. And to be honest, and some people will get upset about this, but I'm going to be honest, based on what we understand about what's happening at Disney and what's happening in a lot of these writers' rooms. It's probably one major factor in consideration here with why they recast John Hurt's character, because he was a white man. So, and that's really what it comes down to. What's up, Random Acts of Animation? Welcome in, buddy. It'd be better if Harrison Ford said, yeah, but I missed my mustache, showing reverence. Yes, instead of like, lost the mustache. Yeah. You don't mind me asking, if they did recast Black Panther, what actor would you pick? Honestly, I would probably pick somebody, like a relatively unknown for the role. Or there's actually, let me see if I can find his name. Is it John? Might be John. Hold on, let me pull him up. Yeah, another person I think would have done a really, really good job. He's up and coming. I mean, he's 39, but he's still young enough. John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son. I think he's a very good actor. I think he's on the up and coming actors lists as far as his skill level. He's not quite to, I don't know if he'll ever get to his dad's level, but he's a very good actor. He's very talented. I think he could have done a really great job as T'Challa. There's a couple actors like that I think could have done the role justice. Somebody said William H. Macy as T'Challa. That would have been a wild take. Just cast it. Just do it. Just throw it in there. Because I'm actually, I still think to this day that the MCU would have benefited more from saying, you know what, we're open to just recasting these roles down the line, because that's how the comic books happen. You know, the designs sometimes for characters look different. You know, we have different runs of different characters, and sometimes characters die, but inevitably when you die in a comic book, it's very rare that you just stay dead. Almost inevitably you'll come back. So, you know, is it Eddie Murphy in Coming to America is the perfect fit for Black Panther? A young Eddie Murphy would do great. I'm gonna be honest, Eddie Murphy's a great dramatic actor too, but he's too old now. You know, I don't want to cast somebody older in that role. I know some people thought that what's his name would have been really good. Michael B. Jordan. I don't know that I want to see Michael B. Jordan in that role. I don't think I would have been, I don't think that them giving Killmonger that role and been like, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. No, I probably would have not been interested in seeing that. I would have liked to have avoided that. There's an actor named Aldous Hodge. I think he could have done a really good job. He was in a show called, oh my God, dude, what? I'm trying to remember the name of it now. He was in a TV show, and I can't remember the name of the TV show now, where he's like a thief in it. Ryan Kinnell is Black Panther. That's wild, bro. So yeah, it is weird to have him take the mantle. I don't think that would have been good. So those are a couple actors off the top of my head that I think I would have loved to have seen take a shot at that role and take a shot at T'Challa and do a good job of it. So the days of famous actors like in the past are over. It's a new era of Hollywood because of social media. It's true. It's very true, man. Do you guys hear Eminem's new album? I cried like a bitch listening to the song Temporary. I have not. I listened to one song off it so far, and I'm kind of interested to see what he does with it. So, Pedro Pascal is T'Challa. That makes the most sense, to be honest, with the way Disney's casting him and everything now. So, we are going to talk a little bit about some casting stuff that we just heard about. But we're going to watch the rest of this trailer. But I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was interesting.
You and I haven't always agreed in the past, but I want to make another run at making Captain America an official military position.
And if we disagree on how to manage a situation, then what happens?
Work with me, Sam. We'll show the world a better way forward.
So this is really interesting. So a couple things. Giancarlo Esposito. What's up, Joey Flores? Welcome in. I'm all about Giancarlo Esposito. Like, I'm all about him being in the movie. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him because, you know, it looks like he's in a more action-y role. I don't know that I'm interested in that. I don't know that I'm interested in seeing him play that role or not, but we'll see. But he is a very talented actor, and I think he'd kill any role that he gets into. Grego says Pedro would have played as well as Namor. Yes, he would have done a much better job than the Khan that we got. The Namor from Black Panther 2 was terrible. I've actually never even rewatched Black Panther 2. I watched it one time in theaters and was like, I'm not gonna watch this again. So yeah. All right, let's keep going. Also, real quick, so this is, you know, Sam. This right here, I guess it sounds like he's gonna be the new Falcon. Sounds like he's gonna take over the mantle of Falcon. It's not a fucking mantle, but what, we're not gonna get in this right now. He's going to take over the role of Falcon. It sounds like he's going to be the new sidekick. And then here's Isaiah Bradley, who was Captain America at one point in the comics. So it looks like we're getting like, I think what's gonna happen, it's funny because once again, remember they changed the name of this movie from New World Order to Brave New World. I think we're gonna get a Manchurian Candidate style storyline where they set up Isaiah Bradley and are trying to militarize and make Captain America like a personal bodyguard of the president. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. It's weird. Why would he go after the general? It's a great question. I think it's a Manchurian Candidate situation. I think that's probably what we're gonna get. Gray goes set for $5 says, I just smelled the foulest fart and I realized it wasn't me, it was one of my dogs. Dude, dog farts are the fucking worst. So I feel ya. Vent Money says S Kurt. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry.
Sir, your inner circle has been compromised. Either you can't see that, or you don't want to. What if it's a trap?
So you see that right there? This is the reason I thought it was going to be a Manchurian Candidate thing. Remember, they got the flashing lights. That's supposed to be like a thing that they use on Bucky to, like, you know, trigger his thoughts and things like that, as well as the book that they read stuff in. Tur Ferguson says, note to self, don't let people who hate America write Captain America. That's a great call. Vent Money says, we litty. Let's go. Stone Cold's Beer Cooler says, Giancarlo is a great actor. Too bad they keep giving him parts that make him play the universe's Gus Fring. Yes, they need to stop having him play Gus Fring and let him actually like flex his muscles a little bit. He's a very good actor. I'm sure you're a real ghost after smelling that rancid dog fart. Yeah, I feel that. Sissy over on YouTube says, hey, Epic Meek, what's going on, Sissy? We're checking out the trailer for Captain America Brave New World.
It's a trap. Global power is shifting. You're just a pawn.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
What you see there in a little thing here, we'll break this down for a second here. Right here, we get, yeah, in that shot, I keep fucking missing it. Yeah, we have two Falcons. So this is Sam Wilson Falcon, aka Blackton America. And then we have the new Falcon, which is Hispanic Falcon. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his what his character's name is. But this was actually in the leaks that this was going to happen. That he was going to get a sidekick, Hispanic sidekick that was going to be the new Falcon, so that they could remove the mantle of Falcon off the table altogether. So that way he just stays Captain America. Let me get this at the end. So General Thunderbolt Ross, we get him as Red Hulk. Roto Commish, thank you for the raid. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. What's going on, Roto Commish? Welcome in, man. I'm not. Brilliant writing, right? It's really good. Let me see here. Captain America Disper says, I'm not. I'm better. The suit is perfect. It will be when it fits a black man. I feel like Red Hulk is put in this movie purely because they were worried it didn't feel superhero enough. Yeah, I think that that's definitely part of it. Because my thing is this, remember, Iron Man had to get an entire unique special suit to fight Hulk. And I'm going to tell you right now, Red Hulk is on another level. He's not stronger than regular Hulk, but he is very strong. He has other powers as well. I think he has like heat-based powers. I think he overheats, which is part of his like drawback for becoming a Hulk. But it's really weird that we haven't had anything up until now about him being Hulk. So yeah, that's fucking that. I mean, my initial thought is it looks fine. I can't say it looks like the worst thing in the world. It looks better than some of their other movies. But Part of that is the aesthetic. The CGI in this trailer looks not very good. And I'm going to be honest, I saw a couple people trying to defend the CGI in this trailer and say, well, the movie's not finished. Motherfuckers, this movie has been reshot 3 times. Listen, people, I need you to hear me here, because I did not stutter when I said this. It was not reshoots. The movie has been reshot 3 times. There have been 3 iterations of this movie. They had the original, which was New World Order that they were going to do. They shot a bunch of that movie and had it ready to go, or was getting it ready to go. And then they completely changed the way they were writing the story, reshot the movie. And then when those reshoots got to early screenings, they said the early screenings were so bad that they stopped and completely reshot the movie again. That's why it's been delayed so many times. Okay. Turd Ferguson says, hi, Disbrew. How's your husband, Mark? Disbrew says, he's not spoken to me since our marriage. Yeah, that sounds about right. You get married and he never speaks to you again. Ticklerton, welcome in, buddy. Our painting seemed to be an edgy, dark Captain America, but they already had that with John Walker and rejected it, and he was a super soldier. Yeah, I don't think John Walker would have been a good Captain America either, though, to be honest. Disbrew says, the general audience has no idea what a Red Hulk is. It won't even be a draw. That's very true. You are 100% correct about that, Disbrew. People will be like, why is Hulk red? I don't understand. CG buy. Reshot the movie several times. $400 million budget. Yes, that's the other part of it that I was going to get to. Yeah. Brave New World has like a $400 million budget. And I think, if I remember correctly, it is now, I think that makes it the most expensive film of all time. Even adjusted for inflation, I think it's the most expensive. $350 to $400 million. Yep. I had a budget of $275 million before reshoots began. Yep. $350 to $400 million. Let me see here. And I think as of right now, adjusted for inflation, because this is the thing. Let me see here. This is adjusted for inflation. According to this, adjusted for inflation, The Force Awakens is the most expensive movie of all time. That's kind of fascinating because I haven't heard that budget was that big, but that's kind of wild with $447 million. But I think it'll be interesting because we know that with Captain America and with the way these movies work, they typically have to double their budget for the marketing. I wouldn't be surprised to see if we don't see a really heavy marketing push for this because of how much money they've already spent on it, that they just want to get it done. So yeah, this is going to be wild. Disney's deal with Universal is weird. Every other Hulk character can be prominent, whether it's be protagonists like She-Hulk, protagonists like Red Hulk, but they can't make a Hulk movie. Yeah. Yep. And they told, what's his name said that recently, Mark Ruffalo, when he's not screaming about Trump on Twitter, he said recently that Kevin Feige told him he's not getting a solo Hulk movie. It's just not going to happen. So why so many reshoots? Just bad writing, man. John Walker was the most likable character in Falcon Winter Soldier. Changed my mind. The entire movie was reshot. It's a completely different movie from what they originally did. Yep. They released Awful Cut, where it's just the worst takes of all the shoots, right? They might do a better movie. They might get more a better response from the audience if they do that. I'm sure they reshot the whole movie like the last time. Yeah, they did. Yep. Craig Morney says, I raised a brand new 3-year-old in the time it took these fucks to make this movie. Yep. It's wild. What's going on, Rough Night? Welcome in. I know I'm right because I have no idea what a Red Hulk is. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. People, that is a comic book deep dive for people that know who Red Hulk is and are fans of the Hulk and stuff. A lot of people are going to have no idea what that means or the significance of that character. So I'm going to be real. I don't know shit about Red Hulk. Never read any comics with him. Yeah. Remember what A-Train says, the reshoots are finished and this is now the most expensive project ever. So you know it's going to be good. That is very true. Art imitating life, imitating art. Yeah, we're seeing it. The only thing we don't have is actual superheroes in this world yet, but Probably not far off from that happening soon. Escapel says no Bucky in this, huh? I've heard that Bucky's not in it. Yeah, because Bucky is in the, oh my god, what's the name of not what is the name of that one? I don't remember the name of the movie. Let me look it up here. Florence Pugh is in it. I know they brought her back for it because she was on set the other day talking about it. The Thunderbolts. Yeah, so she's in the Thunderbolts movie. So Thunderbolts movie has Sebastian Stan in it. He's one of the main characters in it. But this is coming out after Brave New World. Which is weird because you think it should come out before that. Wait a minute. Is it coming out before that? Okay, let me double check this because it looks like it actually might be coming out before that. Hold on. Let me check out Brave New World. Nope. Captain America Brave New World's coming out first. So Brave New World is coming out. Thunderbolts is supposed to be is coming out May 5th. Captain America Brave New World's coming out February 14th. And Thunderbolts is supposed to be the last film of Phase 5. What my guess is going to be, this is what I think is going to happen, is they're going to do Brave New World and they're going to introduce this like secret cabal working behind the scenes and all this shit like that. Thunderbolts is going to come out. Thunderbolts is going to kick off the movie version of Secret Wars. Because remember, we had a TV show called Secret Wars that really didn't have a lot, like it had scrolls and stuff in it, but really didn't involve a lot of the characters that were involved in Secret Wars. I think we're going to get a movie version of Secret Wars, and I think Thunderbolts is going to kick it off, and I think that that's how they're going to kind of like wash away the Kang Dynasty thing, is they're going to reboot everything with a Secret Wars movie version. Because that's also one of the things that they tease in Deadpool, is there's a comic book with like Secret Wars and stuff in it, and I think that they're going to use the Deadpool movie to rewrite and retool and reboot a lot of the MCU universe, so they can bring back old characters, they can recast new characters, things like that, so they can introduce like a different world to it, because of how badly everything got fucked over when Jonathan Majors got fired. So didn't Sam side with Steve against the government in Civil War? Why would he take a contract job with him and become regulated? He broke. Yeah, I don't know why they would try to get him to work with them. That doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of money for a show. Yeah, $270 million before reshoots. Bro, I can retire as a producer from just one movie. Yeah, yep. The Force Awakens was $400 million to make. Lord Jesus, yeah, it was a lot of money, man. I thought Pirates of the Caribbean 5 was the most expensive. Force Awakens is more expensive than that. I did look up that. Let's look at that list real quick, actually. We'll look at it together. This is just on Wikipedia. It's not like I'm doing like a super, super heavily deep dive. We're going to do adjusted for inflation, though, because I think that is important to talk about in like, keep in context. So according to this right here, this list, this is adjusted for inflation. Actually, no, because then those numbers don't make any sense. No, that's okay. We got the original numbers right here. So the most expensive film, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, is $447 million. Adjusted for inflation, that's $575 million. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides is number 3 with a budget of $379 million. So it sounds like Captain America Brave New World will be the 3rd most expensive film of all time. Or 4th most. Yeah, Rise of Skywalker was $416 million. That's wild. If we go to the regular numbers instead of the adjusted, yeah. So Force Awakens, most expensive. Fallen Kingdom was 2nd. Rise of Skywalker is 3rd. Fast X is 4th. On Stranger Tides is 5th. You see, like, look at this. All Disney movies, though. Except for this one. So Jurassic World and Fast X are the only ones that are not produced by Disney. Look at this. Disney, 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 Disney. All within like well over $300 million for budgets. Like, what are you guys doing? And then Justice League. Now, the weird thing about Justice League is, and I would argue that Justice League probably is actually realistically the most expensive movie of all time, because they did it, then they did a bunch of reshoots which inflated the budget, and then the Zack Snyder cut because as much as Zack Snyder wants to say he had a lot of it done, he did, but he also had to reshoot a lot of that movie. There was a lot of reshoots that they had to do for that film. Well, that's pretty wild. The only DC Hulk movie was Edward Norton one. I mean, to me, Eric Banon's or his Hulk is actually kind of underrated. It's not great because of like the Hulk dogs and stuff, but I think it's better than a lot of people remember it is. It's also very, very comic booky. So I have to give Ang Lee credit for trying to do something really unique with that. I like the Hulk movie with Edward Norton. Too bad he couldn't pay him what he wanted for the Avengers. Yeah. I liked his Hulk though. Edward Norton's Hulk is one of the best Hulks. While the Hulk's pushed aside more than Widow in her solo movie, right? Too bad Edward Norton is an ass to work with. He would have been an interesting addition to the MCU back in the day. Yeah. Why are we doing Red Hulk before we even get a proper Hulk film? Well, I was just telling them, Danky, we're probably never going to get a Hulk solo film ever. You know, like maybe down the line, if Marvel doesn't go completely bankrupt, maybe we'll see that happen, but I doubt it. I forgot that the leader is going to be in Brave New World. How's Disney getting all of these Hulk villains in their property? Who's next? Is Zorban Man, Grey Gargoyle, the Wendigo? Well, remember, Stone Cold's beer cooler, the leader has existed for a while because he is still, the Edward Norton Hulk is still canon to the MCU. It all still happened. That movie still happened. It's all canon. The events of that movie are canon. And Emil Blonsky exists in that world now as, you know, Abomination and stuff, even though they completely changed the way he looks. The leader was in that movie. He falls on the ground. Oh my God, I can't remember his name now. The guy from Oh Brother, We're Out Now. He gets the gamma juice is leaked on his brain, and his brain starts to like swell at the end of the movie. He's walking around out there somewhere. So Thunderbolts, yeah, they're probably just hiding under the African shield. Thunderbolts is another Red Hulk tie-in, yeah. And I'm guessing that Harrison Ford is in the Thunderbolts, so I'm guessing he's going to be the one that gives them a mission. The rumor was originally that what's up, Schick74? The rumor was originally that Sentry was going to be the villain in Red Hulk, and that Madam Hydra was going to be the main villain. I still think Madam Hydra is going to be the main villain, but the guy that they cast for Sentry left. I don't know that they're going to use Sentry. I think personally using a reboot, right? I think that using the Sentry is the stupidest thing they could do. The Sentry is like one of the most powerful beings in like Marvel as far as like human beings are concerned. Like he's like stupidly powerful, like on Superman's level powerful. And then you have the Void. And I just think that that's really stupid. So Isaac says, hey, Mike, hope you get well soon. Thank you. Isn't Sebastian's last film was Bucky? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised to see them kill him off. Tired of reboots and all that Hollywood is nowadays, a pale imagination and paler imitation. I'm tired of all these reboots, Grandpa. Well, that's too damn bad. Hey, what's going on, Hypnotic? Welcome in, buddy. Glad to see you here. Wikipedia. What's up with all the reshoots, though? That's got to eat a shit ton of the budget. I don't know, man. Just not good responses, I guess. Joe's commenting on something he said an hour ago. Who, me? Imagine making Gone with the Wind for like 60 million, probably just for inflation, having to justify turning out this garbage for 300 plus million. Yeah. Well, keep in mind, like Dune Part 1 and Dune Part 2 were both like under $200 million. Okay? These movies that arguably look better than anything that we've seen recently from Disney, like in the last like 5 years. Yep, Dune, $190 million. They made Dune Part 2 for less money than anything that Marvel has shot in the last 5 years. It had $10 million more than what the Acolyte had for a budget. So I don't know what they're doing with the money, man. Transitions done by Comic Book Frame was really interesting in Eric Banon's Hulk. Yes, I really liked that. I also thought it was a really interesting take on Absorbing Man. I really dug that style. I thought that was really interesting. I think Ang Lee's Hulk is kind of criminally underrated. So, Tim Blake Nelson, thank you, Joseph McCrae. I appreciate that. Hulk solo is honestly a pretty tough story to tell. Hulk's power scaling is ridiculous, so it's hard to give him an early antagonist. I mean, that's fair. We did get him versus Abomination, but I don't know, to me, they had a perfect opportunity to get Hulk off planet and introduce a bunch of cosmic characters by doing you could have easily done what they did with Thor. Like let Thor do his own movie and then do a World War Hulk movie. You could have done that. You could have easily done that. Just let Hulk leave for a while and disappear for a little bit and make people forget about him, and then have him come back and do it. And you have him come back as like the villain for one of like the movies, like the Avengers World War Hulk, and have Hulk be the villain, the antagonist. And then the next movie you do is a prequel introducing how Hulk got to where he is in World War Hulk. Or you just tell his backstory, I guess, during the Avengers movie. You could do that too. That would have been a much better way to tell that movie, that whole thing. So, did anyone else grow up watching reruns of the Hulk TV show? That was fire. Yeah, I love that show. That's actually how I got introduced into some of the first superhero stuff I ever saw. I remember it's just crazy to me that they practically pillaging off of Hulk's gallery. Like Ty Burrell Samson is still active, and I think they haven't used him yet. That's true. Any of my fellow nerds want to do some voiceover work on my cartoon? I'm making a bunch of nerdy characters that break up with a bunch of IPs like Star Wars, Doctor Who, Marvel. Put the call out on Twitter, man. You will find a lot of people. I just saw those 2 movies Tuesday, and they did look good. You got beautiful hair. How you doing tonight, Mike? Well, what's up, TJ? I'm doing all right. I'm not feeling super great, but we'll get better. We're feeling a little bit better. Damn, I almost nailed it. Gone with the Wind cost $3.8 million to film, which is $66 million adjusted for inflation. Look at that. Just nailing it, bro. They're super expensive because they shoot multiple alternative scenes that are AI derived and then try to make a cohesive narrative in the editing. And for somebody like Rough Knight who works in the industry, he's not wrong. It's not wrong. They have a thing. They then test screen those different versions until they find the least offensive one that the fewest people hate. So that should tell you how bad Brave New World was. Okay, because here's the thing. There's a couple options here. And I called this like back in the day with The Last Jedi. When The Last Jedi came out, they immediately announced, but right before The Last Jedi released, that they were giving Rian Johnson his own solo trilogy. That they said, you know, he did such a great job with The Last Jedi that we're giving him his own trilogy to do in the Star Wars universe because we love what he did with The Last Jedi, blah, blah, blah. And I said to people, I said, that either means 2 things. That either means what he did was so controversial, but they can't argue against what he did because they gave him the reins, that they don't want him to leave and they want him to stay around. So they gave him his own trilogy, but they don't want him touching the main Star Wars IP anymore, which was in the end, the correct option. The other one was they already had a guy on contract and they could not release that guy to have him do the 3rd movie, even though they want him to. But it was actually the first option. He did such a his movie was so controversial, they didn't want him to continue telling stories in the main Star Wars timeline. So they were going to give him his own trilogy, which they never did, obviously. And then they fired, Colin Trevorrow, and then had J.J. Abrams step in to completely tank the rest of the franchise as far as the movies are concerned. So the fact to me that they shot this movie 3 times seems like Marvel is trying to course correct. Yeah. Gladiator could fuck with the Hulk, right? He's freak mode strong. Yes, but the version of Gladiator we have in Marvel, if I remember correctly, is... No, we don't have a version of Gladiator. Do we? I thought he showed up in... Did he show up in Captain America? Not Captain America, Marvel? I don't know. No, he didn't appear. I thought he appeared in Captain Marvel, but that was a different character. So, there's a lot of characters that can stand toe-to-toe with Hulk. But the original movie was supposed to be that Sentry was the bad guy and the Thunderbolts were fighting Sentry. And I'm like, no, you don't fight Sentry. You get, vaporized out of existence. So... The rumors were there were 26 different edits of The Last Jedi with completely different plots. Really? That's wild. Isn't the whole thing with the Hulk that his power embodies his id or his ego or something? Having a buffed and cut good-looking actor play Bruce just doesn't work. Bruce should be a little wimpy and fearful. I agree. I think that's why I think Mark Ruffalo and Edward Norton were good castings for the character. Regardless of Mark Ruffalo's craziness on Twitter and stuff like that, he did a good job of embodying a nerdy character with this thing going on inside of him. But that's why I was surprised we never got our own version of it. So, what's up, Vex Fears? Welcome in, man. All right, I gotta wash up. I stank as much as Leslie's writing. Damn. Well, at Random Acts of Animation, I appreciate you, buddy. Have a good evening. Thanks for popping in, man. Anna says, eventually it's told in comics that Bruce is a creature of pure will and is impossibly mentally strong, and that is the only way he can contain the Hulk. Yeah. I always love the Hulk-Bruce dynamic. It's fascinating. It's really interesting, and they just don't ever really do a good job of dealing with it. Something I also thought was really interesting about these movies that I was watching is that there's been a lot of retooling of the logos. They keep changing the way that the logos look and making them look more in line with the previous movies. I thought this was kind of interesting. So this was like the original logo right here. This was the logo for Brave New World Order, and then they changed it to Brave New World. But then they also released posters today. So this right here is the poster for Captain America, Winter Soldier. This is the like, they released this poster for Winter Soldier. That was a really badass looking poster. This is the poster that they released today for Brave New World. And while I know that they, there's like a branding for Captain America, there is absolutely 100% an attempt to mine any nostalgia that they can to mix so that people that liked Chris Evans are going to come back for Anthony Mackie's Captain America. I just don't think that Marvel, at the end of the day, I just don't think Marvel have the confidence in this project. I don't think they have the confidence in Anthony Mackie. I think that's why they gave him a TV show before they gave him a movie. I just don't think they believe in him enough to carry this franchise. And I think that's why they paired him with Bucky in his own show at first, is because they wanted to ingratiate the audience into this character and explain why and how it all works, and be able to set up a narrative to address and cushion the pushback that they are going to get from making Captain America, or making Falcon now Captain America. So I think it's really interesting. We could try, but also we could not. That's very true. Yeah. Really need to read up on the Hulk. I love that character. Did they ever combine his series into books? I don't know if they ever combined it. Anna had an answer. There were some amazing stories. There are also some questionable ones. There's a lot of Hulk stuff. Not sure if they're ever combined it all anywhere. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I have a couple Hulk comic books. I love Hulk comic books. They do a really good job. So yeah, they repurposed the poster. It's to draw nostalgia. It's to make you feel like, oh my God, I've seen that somewhere before. That seems really familiar. So the moment they turn Cap to a Hydra agent in the MCU is the breaking point for normies and some shills. They won't ever do that. It's bad for branding. What's up, Magnus Pater? Krista says, Meek. Hi, Krista. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. I'm not... I feel like this movie is going to do okay. Like, I don't think this movie is going to do bad. I think this movie is going to do okay. My guess is like $700 million would be like $800 million. I think they'll probably make their money back at least. I don't think this movie's going to crack $1 billion. I think the brand is just damaged right now, Marvel wise. I think the MCU and specifically Disney Plus has confused audiences to a level that they won't have the ability to argue out of the box that they've put themselves in. You know, you've already done Secret Wars. You know, so like, you're gonna do a movie called Secret Wars 2? Okay, well, what about people that watch Secret Wars on on Disney Plus? How are they gonna feel about all of this? The problem that my guess is that they're banking on once again, couple options here, and there could be other options, but what I think is going on is that the numbers for Secret Wars were so bad and so little that they're banking on the fact that audiences won't be confused, and they're going to just pretend like all the Disney Plus stuff like isn't really affecting the larger MCU, kind of like they used to do with the TV shows. That's my guess, because of the way that they're ignoring and retconning things, the way that they got rid of like Daredevil's like gold suit and brought back his red suit, the way that they brought back like Foggy and Karen and all these characters that weren't in the original script, weren't in the original project when they were going to redo Daredevil. That's what I feel like is going to end up happening, is they're going to try to pretend like the Disney Plus stuff doesn't affect the MCU at large, and kind of reboot a lot of this stuff and do, like I said, do a Secret Wars where there's a lot of the characters involved. It'll probably be very similar to Captain America Civil War and how they do it. Because they're just running out of ideas as far as what they have. And to Chaz's point, and this is a really good point too, as long as they're continuing to use AI to spit out projects, they're going to keep having diminishing returns on their projects. It's just inevitable. It's how it works. There's no soul to their projects anymore. Thomas Ryan says, "I'll watch on streaming, not paying movie theater prices to see it." I don't blame you, man. Commenting is dangerous for $5 says, "Mike, last week I wanted to ask you who would pair the Max up with in a fight." The Max? Why don't I remember that? Oh, geez. I don't even know. I don't even know this character very well. I've seen this character, but I don't know enough about this character to say who I would do anything with there. Apparently, it's getting an adaptation, though. That's interesting. Max is an American comic book created by Sam Keith in 1993. Here's for the adventures of the titular hero in two worlds, the real world and alternative reality, referred to as the Outback. In the real world, Max is a vagrant, a homeless man living in a box, while in the Outback, he is the more powerful protector of the Jungle Queen, who exists in the real world as Julie Winters, a freelance social worker who often bails Max out of jail. While Max is aware of the Outback, Julie is not, though it is integral to both of their stories. Interesting. I don't know. I'd have to do more reading on this. This is really kind of fascinating. Huh. I'll have to check that out. Thank you for bringing that up. I've never heard of that character, like, or ever done any, like, actual, like, diving into that. Can we just call Anthony Mackie's Captain America Captain Falcon? I'm pretty sure Nintendo wouldn't mind, right? Captain Falcon would be a badass name. Anna says, Falcon Punch. I don't see how they'll make their money back. It's just too much. I mean, that's fair. They might break even, though. Back to my point on the Universal Disney relationship. It's weird that Disney can cherry pick Hulk's lore. Come to Spider-Man, they can't. Is Sony's deal with Disney somehow different? Oh, yeah. Sony's deal with Disney is, like, very, very Sony friendly. Like, it is very much, like, Sony basically is like, you can use Spider-Man and we'll give you the rights to select characters as we decide you can, but we make most of the money and you do the distributing. So really, like, I think Sony chips in a little bit of money for them to do this stuff, but like a lot of the Spider-Man projects and stuff like that, based on what I've heard of the deal, it's a wash for Disney. Spider-Man is popular and it draws people in, but they're not making a ton of money on Spider-Man projects because Sony is getting a lot of that cut. That's what I've heard anyways. Disper said chicken grease is in their soul. Pretty sure they wouldn't mind one bit. Disney hasn't made an F-Zero game since the GameCube era. Yeah, no, Nintendo's too litigious. They would care. You never saw the cartoon? I never watched the cartoon. No, I'd have to check it out now. I honestly think it might bomb like the Marvels. Could be wrong, though. I don't think it'll bomb. I think enough people will go see it that it'll do well, but I think the reception to it is not going to be very good. I could be wrong, too. They could go see it, and it could be absolute ass, and it'll do well the first 2 weekends, and it'll completely fall off. That could possibly happen, too. We've had conversations about the Max, Mike. It was years ago, so I'm not surprised You didn't retain it. I talked a lot. Really, I don't remember this. I feel bad now that I don't remember. Because, like, the artwork immediately looks familiar to me. But I don't remember the concept a whole lot. Interesting. Sam Keith and All His Lunacy, it had an MTV show that was pretty alright. Interesting. If you see the Sony Insomniac Disney deal for the video games, it was in the leaks. I did not see that. What's up, Eddie Symbol? He says I'm late. Oh, you're fine, dude. You're good. You're good. You're good. Speaking of like interesting stuff with comic books, I thought was really kind of fascinating. So there's been a lot more. I'm gonna say this. James Gunn is a very smart man. Okay, he's a very smart dude. I'm not saying that he does everything perfect or does everything right, but he is a smart guy. And one of the things that I do think is interesting about the way James Gunn is doing things at DC is that he is doing things decidedly differently than the way Disney has done things when it comes to these projects. Basically, I guess the way, like, one of the things I think is interesting is Disney shoots everything like now almost exclusively inside of sets because they don't want spoilers. They don't want people seeing costumes. They don't want any leaks getting out. They send out fake scripts to people. They send out scripts like, I know, you know, we've heard that recently with people, they like people that will say, you know, oh, I did my Marvel movie and I got a script, but it only had my lines in it. Or like Zoe Saldana, where she's like, I never saw a lot of the other actors that were in our movie. Because we mostly act in a room by ourselves against a green screen with occasionally another actor in the room with me. And then that was it. Or like a lot of times we don't see each other. I don't see other people and stuff, which is like really weird way of doing movies. But Marvel does that to prevent leaks and prevent things like that from getting out. But what's fascinating is the more that we have seen from the filming of James Gunn's Superman, the more we've seen costuming, we've seen characters, we've seen a lot of things being shot outside. We've seen a lot of stuff like being leaked outside of costumes and characters and different people and the kind of the world that we're getting like a piece of. And I think that that's really fascinating because it's a very different take, you know, considering that we had James Gunn be part of the MCU and working constantly with the MCU. I'm kind of think it's fascinating that he's not trying to hide like they were with Marvel. He's like, yeah, like, you know, somebody did ask him in an interview recently, and I thought this was pretty good. By the way, Chick74, have a good night, man. I appreciate you, buddy. We're going to go for a little bit longer. We're not going to stay on super long because, like I said, I'm not feeling great, but I wanted to talk about some stuff with this. I'm going to pull up some of these photos, these set photos, and we can look at them. But somebody asked him, I'm going to read this quote right here. People asked if the set leaks were going to spoil the film. And he said he fully expected people to take these pictures. He fully expected people to get pictures of the set, get pictures of the filming, stuff like that, but that they would not spoil anything about the story. And I think that that's really interesting because it's kind of genius. He's letting people basically get a glimpse at stuff. He's getting people kind of like wet their beaks on what's happening right now with his take on the DC universe and his movies and his films, and letting people see these costumes and speculate about the story does kind of the opposite of what Marvel always acts like it's going to do. It doesn't make people not excited. It actually makes people more excited. People are like, yo, I can't wait to see what's going to happen with all of this. This is really fascinating. So recently we got some other really cool leaks and stuff like that, and this kind of answers a couple questions that we did have about this. Having set photos prolongs the hype. That's it right there. Sick Mike makes me sad. Oh, what's up, Josiah? I know, buddy, it sucks. So we got some set leaks here. This is actually our first look at Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, and oh my gosh, I don't remember her name now. I think it's Isabella as Hawk Girl. So we get our first look at Hawk Girl. And we first get our first look at Guy Gardner. I'm going to say this right now. I have not been a fan of these costumes. It is the same costume designer that was involved in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I don't know, Isabella Mercedes. Yeah. I do not like these costumes. They look way too padded. They look way too Guardians of the Galaxy. The only reason and the only thing that I will say that I would be, I guess, generally okay with is if maybe all of these guys work for somebody, or maybe they all of their costumes and things are coming from one place. Nathan Fillion hasn't aged much, has he? So, funny thing about Nathan Fillion, first of all, I love Nathan Fillion. So, there would be no bad talking Nathan Fillion here. But he did get a little chubby for a little bit when he was doing Castle. He gained a little bit of weight, and then he had to do a movie, or he's doing a show now called The Rookie, where he plays a cop. And the first season, you could tell he lost a ton of weight. Since then, he's lost even more weight for The Rookie. So now he looks like he's lost enough weight that he looks young again. And I was actually kind of impressed. Like, when he was looking overweight, you could see the age on him a little bit more than you normally do. And it sucks because you don't want to see your, like, favorite actors and stuff, heroes getting older. But it does happen. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, he's actually lost a lot of weight, and he's got in a lot better shape than he was. And that's kind of made me excited to see him in the future stuff. But this hair piece looks ridiculous. Obviously, the thing is, all of this stuff can be changed and touched up. There's a possibility that the way that these costumes are and the way that these costumes look outside, maybe these costumes are their go costumes. I'll use that word. Like, they're not just designed for looks. They're designed for, like, utility and moving around. Maybe they'll touch these things up and change things around or move things around. The way that his costume, I'm guessing that jacket won't be sitting open all the time, but there's a very strong similarity to these costumes and to the Guardians of the Galaxy. That makes me think that at some point these characters are going to be like on a team together, like pre-established team. Like, not Superman starts a team. These guys are already on a team together. Their costumes look way too similar, and in the way that the iconography and the color schemes look on them look way too similar to say that they're not working together on something. So that's my guess, is that they're going to be kind of all on a team together. That Green Lantern costume, he's trying to make Guy look more like a douche. Maybe. And also, you got to remember, when he redid Suicide Squad, he changed up, why do I keep doing that? He killed off like a bunch of the characters in the beginning, you know? It could be possible that some of these characters we don't see again, or, you know, they die or something bad happens to them, and that's why Superman has to step in. These guys could be flashback characters that we don't know about. You know, there's a lot we don't know. Here's a costume. So here's Superman on set again. I love the cape. I love the way that the cape flows in the wind. I love the fucking insignia on the back. We have Mr. Terrific getting flown by Hawk Girl. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if he's getting arrested or what, but I thought that was kind of fascinating. And then we also have this, and this is like the new stuff that just came out. A lot of people asked, there was something going on where we see Superman being walked down the street in handcuffs in one of the set photos, and the symbolism on one of the guy's chests was a U, and it looked like Ultraman. And somebody asked, oh, I wonder if that's Ultraman. Well, I guess it's confirmed now, these set photos, this is Superman versus Ultraman. This character up here, I don't know who this is, but this is like one of the female characters that was behind him on the set. So Ultraman, it sounds like, is going to be one of the villains. But as we know, like, for people that don't know, and for people that do, you know, you guys are going to be, I don't know, Ultraman in the comics is an alternate version of Superman. He's from a different like a different universe, like a multiverse, where he got picked up and he became evil, and he was trained to be evil. He's like a fascist totalitarian that like runs the world and unchecked and all this stuff. My guess is that there's going to be some kind of multiversal thing going on with this movie. It's either that or James Gunn is doing what James Gunn does a lot, which is he takes a very obscure character like Guy Gardner. He takes obscure characters like Ultraman, who's arguably not super obscure, but a lot of regular people won't know off the bat that Ultraman is a alternate version of Superman. My guess is that he's going to retool these characters as something very different than what they are in the comics. He does that a lot with characters. He'll take a character that we know and we know a little bit about, or comic book fans would know, but general audience would have no clue who they are. And then he repurposes them, changes their backstory, changes all of their themes, who they are as characters to fit whatever story he's writing. I wouldn't be surprised if Ultraman kind of ends up being something like that. My other guess is that Ultraman looks like he has a team. I'm guessing that it'll be something like these characters here, like Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and things like that, are like a version of the Justice League that are fighting Ultraman and his cohorts. So I don't know what that means for Superman. I don't know where he comes into the picture in this. I don't know, maybe Ultraman will end up being Zod and we just don't realize it, or maybe it'll end up being Bizarro and we just haven't seen that yet. I don't know. There's a lot of questions, but we're talking about it a little bit. So is it Ultraman the leader of the Justice Lords from the dimension where they are dicks? I don't know if that's the same universe or not. Let me see here. Hold on. He might be. No, so according to this, Ultraman's team affiliations: Crime Syndicate of America, Crime Syndicate, Crime Society of America. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so, and this is, so there's a couple different versions, obviously. According to Crisis on Infinite Earths, there are two different Ultraman characters. Yeah, since Crisis, DC has returned to the concept of Ultraman, creating two different characters with that name, often appearing only for a single issue in a story arc. There have been several appearances by both. The first version was an antimatter version of Ultraman created for Grant Morrison's Justice League of America, Earth 2 graphic novel. This version appeared several times and was slain at the conclusion of the Final Crisis series. Another version, closer to the Silver Age original Ultraman, appeared in the New 52 universe, Earth 3. Based on comments by Grant Morrison, Earth 3 universe is not the pre-Crisis Earth, making this a new character unrelated to previous versions. So we could be seeing something where he's taking that character out. I'm not sure. Might be mixing up comics and animated movie. Yeah. Because I don't remember it, because in Justice League, they do the Justice Lords and stuff like that, but I don't remember I don't think Superman changed his name to Ultraman in that. DC has always been a multiverse. That's why I hated it as a kid. Multiverse is just bad writer's tool. I mean, you can do some interesting things with it, but if you're going to do multiverse, you have to be really careful with it. I think the lazy part of multiverses comes in when you hand wave the multiverse and say, well, everything that could possibly be in the multiverse exists in the multiverse. All possibilities and all situations and all things exist in the multiverse. And so here's a version of Superman that is a I don't know, Jewish guy who fights against Supermensch, and he fights against people eating ham and non-kosher meats. And you're like, yeah, but like there's like I will say the Spider-Man, the newest animated Spider-Man did a decent-ish version. I still don't agree with their version of the multiverse, but they had an idea, which is like there's enough canon events that have to happen to make a character become Spider-Man. And if those events are not happening, then there's no Spider-Man for you to exist there. And so there's like multiverses and universes that don't have correlating Spider-Man because they haven't had the events or the situations happen for Spider-Man to exist. But my guess is that he's retooling Ultraman to something different, and that this Ultraman won't be another version of Superman. I think he'll be something different. I know we're getting more Peacemaker And I know that one of the things that he has said, James Gunn has said, and that's really important to him, is that these characters and all this stuff is actually interconnected, like the MCU was, in that this is going to be connected to the games are going to be connected, the TV shows are going to be connected, and the movies are all going to be connected. So that way he can control any stories and characters that exist. And it's not just him doing it, but he's the head of everything. But that way they can control the branding and the marketing for all these characters, and that everything else, like Joker and Joker 2, Christopher what's his name? Wow. The other Robert Pattinson's Batman, those are Elseworld stories. They're not involved in the DCU timeline that he's creating. That's why I don't think we're going to get a third Robert Pattinson Batman. I think we'll get a second one here, and then that'll be it. I think that'll probably call it. So, are you sick, my bud? Good evening. Yeah, I'm not feeling great, Freddie. We'll probably call it here in another 15-20 minutes, because I am getting tired already again, dude. I've been sleeping on and off nonstop. It's pissing me off. Stone Cold's Beer Cooler says, yeah, first Ryan, then Kristen, and now you being sick. Geeks and Gamers should be renamed Germs and Gays at this point. I'm drunk and I'm trying to make a joke. It's all good, bro. I appreciate the self-awareness to say, I am drunk and I'm just trying to be funny right now. So, yeah. So you're all good, man. Mustang McCraven says, multiverse immediately makes everything that happens in a wait. You just undo it, and it makes nothing in your story matter. That's the thing. It depends on the approach of the multiverse. There's other multiverses where you say, hey, you know what? The chances of going into other multiverses, I think easily accessed multiverses can make consequences not matter. But I think that if you do a good job of saying, you know what, you can't access the multiverse, or occasionally you'll see a character from another universe show up into yours or something like that, that kind of stuff you can do, and you can make things interesting without completely retconning stuff. But if you get lazy, you can easily start to retcon things and do things in a way that makes it look worse. So yeah. Let me see here. James Gunn's Suicide Squad was fun, good action, real character development. Starro felt like a real comic villain. Yeah, his Suicide Squad was decent. I liked it. Those characters are very different than some of the comic book counterparts, like Polka Dot Man and stuff. But once again, he does what he does. I was entertained. As a movie, it's an entertaining movie. I had fun with it. I did. I thought the character development was interesting. I thought the characters were cool. I thought some of the callbacks to certain things were really cool. I liked that Peacemaker was kind of a villain in that. I thought John Cena did a really good job, and it was funny. It had some really funny moments to it. So, the Spider-Verse is fucked because it took away the whole personal responsibility of what happened. It's the entire point of Spider-Man in the first place. Anna says, like any tool, using it poorly makes stories suck. If used interestingly, including a multiverse can be just fine. Someone called Beer Cooler says, I remember the Justice Lords and the Justice League animated series in the early 2000s. They're just the same, just the name counterparts to the Justice League. I'm not so sure Ultraman, Owlman, and Superwoman. Yeah, I don't think they existed either, but the Justice Lords were pretty interesting. That was when Superman was lobotomizing everybody. Like, Doomsday showed up and wanted to fight him, and he was just like, lobotomize! And then everybody's like, oh, you're that guy. And he's like, what are you going to do, Superman? Kill me? And he's like, no, I'm just gonna lobotomize you so you're like a walking husk. And he's like, wait, what? Yeah, I was like, dude, that's kind of wild. Anna says, also feels equally less impressive and lame to me. The stories include multiversal elements. The more we learn that it is probably a real part of our existence, it isn't science fiction anymore. Yeah, I agree with that. It's like people kind of find a new concept and they go, oh my God, that's really cool. I should write this into my story. And you're like, well, don't just write it because it's cool to you. Write it because you know how to introduce it into a story correctly, you know? Mustang McCraven says, I've never once read a multiverse story I found to be compelling. Like I said, nothing matters multiverse because you can't just undo it. I don't know. Like I said, it depends on how you do the multiverse. I thought that the way that they did the first Spider-Verse movie was actually pretty cool. I thought it was like, you can't just go everywhere. You can't just join anybody, but there are other Spider-Man characters in these universes and spider characters in these universes that you can interact with and stuff like that. but that like they can't stay in these universes very long. That's why I think the second one jumped the gun a little bit, because once you got into like, oh yeah, you can go into these universes whenever you want as long as you wear this cool wristwatch, and yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff and interact with all kinds of people, and there's all these kinds of, it was like, okay, this is getting a little bit much. It got a little bit much after that. I don't have a lot of confidence in the third movie. I like the first one though. I think the first in the Spider-Verse is pretty good, even with Miles Morales' character. I thought he was pretty good. You know, but once again, you have to get rid of Spider-Man to make Miles Morales make sense, in that Spider-Man died. So Stone Cold Beer Cooler says, I hate that they made the Spider-Man brand a multiverse hero. He belongs in New York City, occasionally outside of it when the universe is at stake. Yeah, I think they're interesting characters. Like, I like Spider-Man Noir. I think Spider-Man 2099 is an interesting character. I like Spider-Gwen. I think Spider-Gwen has some pretty cool stuff, pretty cool storylines, stuff like that. It just depends, you know? Spider-Ham, not so much. Spider-Punk, not so much. You know, like, some of those characters are kind of whatever. Hope you feel better, brother. Back to work. Hopefully I'll catch the next stream. Much love, brother. Thank you so much, TJ. I appreciate you. Think about this. The greatest multiverse story destroyed it and brought back to one. I think that kind of stuff is fascinating, too. I love the idea of like a fractured multiverse, because there's too much interactions between the two, and so all the interconnectivities and stuff like that. I don't know anybody that's ever done that before. I'm being extremely sarcastic, because a good friend of mine, who I don't want to put on blast right here, but also is a very, very good storyteller, did a very interesting multiverse story that I appreciated. We watched we did a tabletop game in a really cool setting where there's like a bunch of multiversal stuff happening, and like all of it was just like completely out of whack, and like the characters in that story had to fix the multiverse without realizing that that's what they were doing. They fixed the multiverse. So yeah, shout out to Anna. I can see it being a fun in a single story, but as soon as you start expanding the multiverse, I feel like it has the opposite effect. That is like, it is. If you don't utilize it correctly, it can get sloppy. It can be like, oh, there's no consequences. But if you go like, you know, the multiverses that you interact with are different ones, just with alternate characters or alternate versions of characters or whatever the thing is, that can be interesting. You just have to use it correctly, and you have to you do have to address why doesn't this just erase all consequences. You do have to be able to explain that. That's why it's dangerous to introduce it without an idea of why it works the way that it works, or how it works the way that it works. Quick question, Mike. Do vampires get AIDS? Also, if they do, how fucked is Hysteria? I do not know. I don't think they can, because I don't think viruses can thrive in their body, because their internal body temperatures are too cold. I don't even know what vampires' internal body temperature is. They can't have disease in their body. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me see here. Yeah, because they're already dead too. That's the other part of it. Because they're undead, but they're dead. Like, it has nothing to really like live on. There's no like living tissue to like for it to feed on. So no. Multiverse could be a great tool for creativity and imagination. Yeah, there's actually a real DC villain named Hemoglobe Goblin. That's ultimate goal is to spread AIDS. That's wild, bro. God. Multiverse is lazy. Like I said, it just depends on your writing style and your writing ability too. The first Secret War was accepted within how Beyonder picked up those heroes and villains and placed them in the battle world. But other than that, Spidey belongs in New York. Yeah, Spidey out of New York is interesting when used sparingly. Good night, Sissy. I appreciate you. The MCU has like 4 multiverse origin stories at the same time. Well, that's the other thing. Once again, if you're a bad writer, or you're using it to excuse things, or you're just using it to tell other stories, and you want to, but then you also want to connect it all because you want your stories to be like validated or whatever, it won't work. That's not a good way to do it. So, like the multiverse is the villain. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Did you ever watch Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon? I was on my favorite along with Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Wolverine, and X-Men. I don't know which one was Spectacular Spider-Man. Was that animated or was that CGI, like 3D? I don't know. I like Futurama's take on alternate universes. There's only one, and they just wear cowboy hats. Anna says, I do like the Eldritch horror of collapsing a multiverse into a single universe. If you think hard about it, it becomes profoundly lonely. The infinite collapses into the finite. Horrific. That's awesome. Biden reads his teleprompter better than Beardo reads super chats. Hail, Mike. What's up, Brimstone? If you really want to know, we have to ask Corey Feldman. Damn. I just watched a comment disappear in chat. I don't want to retype it. Oh, cool. Mike could still see it. Yeah, I can. So the program I'm using is not YouTube. It's another program. So I can even see chats that have been deleted because it's just saving them. Animated 3D was the MTV one, not good. I kind of like the MTV one a little bit. As a kid, at least I did, because it was Spider-Man, and I thought Spider-Man was awesome. Epic Mike is actually DSP in an alternate universe. I could be. Guys, I need tips to pay my bills. You guys don't understand. Memberships don't help me. You guys need to give me stuff. Oh, camera was on the whole time, huh? Hello. Oh shit, DSP is a piece of work. Oh my god. There was two things I did want to talk about, but we'll have to. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into them right now. We're going to talk about the Alec Baldwin news. But I don't know if I want to get into the Alec Baldwin stuff right now. Watch me break my stick on camera so I can order a new one for $400. Oh yeah, watch me break my yeah. Mike is a Fed? Never a Fed. I'm not a big fan of the government. Hey Mike, did Mike talk about Ubisoft stealing Zoro's katana stand? The katana they're selling also looks very close to Zoro's as well. I did not talk about that. I didn't even know that was a thing. It's kind of wild. Let me look up. Ubisoft is really piling up the L's right now. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Maybe they're trying to get bought out. Let me see here if I can find it. Apparently they stole somebody's historical reenactment flag in a movie. Bro, what are they doing? What are they doing, dude? And what's wild is like the Justice League, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is now going to be free on Amazon. Like, and it still has DLC coming out. I've never heard of a game going free before they were able to, before they even got out all the DLC. That's pretty wild. Josiah Rod says Alec Baldwin, the only one in that situation able to dodge a bullet. That's fucking crazy. You need to watch those animated series before Disney bought Marvel and canceled it. Nothing. You really like it? Oh, interesting. Yeah, early animated stuff. I watch all the 90s stuff, dude. Yeah, X-Men animated series, Spider-Man animated series, some of my favorite shows as a kid. So I'm wearing this. Silver Surfer is a hidden gem. Yeah, Silver Surfer's incredibly underrated as a character, so. It's like this comment never existed. Speaking of Ubisoft, did you see the video where Nolan North reveals the original plans for the Assassin's Creed games? I've not seen that either, dude. I got to check that out. Gotcha. Yeah, I can kind of see. Yeah, they're like, wow, Ubisoft was stealing a bunch of people's shit. If we had night all time for me to pass out and get better, Mike, like within 48 hours, no reason. Yeah, no reason at all. Thank you so much, and I'll be feeling better by Sunday for sure. We'll talk about this real quick and then we'll probably wrap it up here. So as many of you know, our boy, and by our boy, I mean not our boy, decidedly not our boy because of how awful he is. Alec Baldwin was on trial for the unfortunate and tragic death of, operator on the set of a movie he was working on called Rust. Well, his case was dismissed today because the prosecution hid evidence. I'm just going to read this out loud to you guys. The manslaughter case against Alec Baldwin has been dismissed after the judge blasted prosecutors for failing to turn over a batch of bullets to the defense. Judge Mary Marlowe Summer throughout the case ruling that no other sanction was sufficient. The state is highly culpable for its failure to provide discovery to the defendant, Marlowe Summer said. Dismissal with prejudice is warranted. Marlowe Summer ruled that under the principle of double jeopardy, Baldwin cannot be retried. She made clear she was appalled at the prosecution's failures. Let me see if I can find exactly how to explain what happened. Let me see here. The defense argued the prosecutors deliberately hid bullets that were turned over to investigators in March, which are relevant to the case. Erlinda Johnson, one of the two special prosecutors, resigned from the case on Friday amid turmoil over the evidence. Kari Morrissey, the lead prosecutor, said outside the courthouse that she disagrees with the judge but respects the court's decision. I'm disappointed because I believe that the importance of the evidence was misconstrued by the defense attorneys, Morrissey said. We did everything humanly possible to bring justice to Helena and her family, and we're proud of the work that we did. I think what they're specifically talking about, because something that just came out, was that apparently, oh my God, why can't I remember his name now? The guy that played Soldier Boy in The Boys. Jensen Ackles, who was in the movie Rust, apparently had live bullets in his holster. Live bullets in his holster. And it came out that that was a thing that happened. So they said, oh, well, you didn't know that? So see, it's not really on, it's not just on Alec Baldwin. It's really on the person that was in charge of safety. Jensen Ackles, thank you. How much did Hollywood pay off the state to throw the case? That's the rough part, man. I don't know, you know? The Baldwin trial began on Wednesday. In recent weeks, the defense repeatedly charged prosecution had hidden reams of information, including forensic reports, emails, and lapel videos, until the eve of the trial. Friday morning, Marlowe Summer donned blue rubber gloves and opened an evidence envelope containing the bullets. She had them displayed on a table in front of the judge's bench. 3 of them appeared to match the Starline Brass live bullets found on the set of Rust. In a testimony on Thursday, the defense uncovered that investigators had received the batch of live ammunition from Troy Tesk towards the end of the trial of Hannah Geertes Reed, the film's armorer. Tesk, a retired police officer in Arizona, informed the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office that the bullets would match the fatal round. So the fact that they did that, and that's the thing. Now the conspiracies are going to be, did he get off? Am I saying that it's not a conspiracy? Fuck no. I definitely think that it's sus as fuck. Okay. We've seen Hollywood go to bat for its own. We know that they protect people that are in higher status. And we also know that the biggest issue here is not just getting Alec Baldwin put in jail. It is setting a precedent so that producers and directors and people that have power and control the way that these sets run are held accountable for the safety of everyone on set. And I say this as somebody who works on movies. And I say this on somebody that works with people that think it's very important for their safety to be taken into consideration. Perfect example is Rough Night in the chat. I've been following this case very closely because it would set a precedent for our industry. This whole thing stinks. Yeah. It's all very sus, Josiah. It absolutely is, man. Is there any reason to have live ammunition on a movie set? It's all pretend, right? The argument will be that having live rounds for certain situations could be useful for things, blah, blah, blah. But at this day and age, there's no real reason to have live rounds on a set. There's a lot of ways to work around that. I know authenticity is important, but here's the thing. If there is any situation where you are working on a film and people's safety is on the line and you are not doing your absolute due diligence to make sure that nothing could happen to hurt people, and all that is left are freak accidents. Freak accidents happen, okay? It happens. Rough Night can tell you that. Josiah can tell you that. Anybody that's worked on movies can tell you freak accidents happen. Okay, somebody slips and falls and hurts themselves. Some equipment malfunction and somebody gets hurt. Things like that. But there are so many checks in place that need to be in place when you're working in a movie and working in film to ensure the safety of everyone on set. There are people that have jobs to make sure and inspect equipment. There are people that have jobs to make sure and inspect the safety of the set. There are people that have jobs to inspect weapons and even fake weapons, that they can't malfunction and hurt people. When you're using electronics, making sure that those plugs are grounded. All of these things. There are plenty of things that happen to make sure and ensure the safety of people on set. And here we are in Epicverse, very small independent production company, and we work very hard to make sure that people's safety is priority. But we don't have the budget and nearly the budget or the money to hire the people that we definitely could and would hire to ensure even more safety on set. Because the more money you have, the more moving parts, the more people you need to keep people accountable, to keep equipment accountable, to make sure that everybody in everything is insured and checked and made sure of. And here's the thing. Everybody wants to argue, well, why would he be in charge of this? Or why would Alec Baldwin be in trouble for this? Because he was running the set. Because he had power on set to do so. Anybody in a leadership position that had anything to say or anything to do on set, whether it was the working hours, whether it was the working conditions, whether it was the safety conditions, for like Rough Night said here, the IATSE union guys walked off set because of unsafe conditions. When your safety guys and your crew walk off set because they don't feel safe, something has gone horribly wrong. That's why Alec Baldwin is being tried for this. That's why the armor is being tried for this, because something went terribly wrong, and there are people that are in positions to prevent that from happening. Okay? But when those people are not being taken care of, and those people are not being considered, the little people, bad things happen, and that's not good. So yeah, it's kind of a mess, man. Let me see here. If you have a good armor, there should never be live rounds on set when you're shooting blanks. There it is. Beardo slipped and fall and hurt himself on set. You can tell us. No, Beardo, I don't think Beardo ever slipped and fell and hurt himself. Not that I can remember. He punched Jake in the face one time accidentally when they were doing a fight scene. And I know, we were using, here's the thing, we weren't using guns, but we were using axes. We had to make sure that people were being safe when they were using these axes because they can hurt people. Freak accidents happen indeed. Just ask Jake the Viking Stowe. Yeah, that was something that there was no way to ensure was not going to happen. It just happened. And you know what? We worked hard to make sure that he was taken care of. And we tried to help him with his toe as best as we could. And we gave him time if he needed time. We didn't push him when he was saying, I'm in pain. So there should never be live rounds, period. There have been extensive protocols in place since the death on the set of The Crow. There you go. She was the daughter of a famous armorer and did not get her job because she was good at it. Pure nepotism. That's wild. Baldwin played a part in hiring Hannah. In my opinion, he hired her because he could run over rather than blame her if something's wrong. For Alec and those who helped him escape taking responsibility, we'll say as I hope God has mercy on their souls. Yeah. Conspiracy is she was about to pull out a child trafficking doc and AB took her out. He's a fixer. Interesting. People get hurt on set all the time. You just never hear about them unless it's a big name. Yeah. He was killed by a foreign object lodged in the barrel. Yeah. Brandon Lee's death was tragic, bro. I had to be careful. Never forget the Rainer Wolfcast accident. I heard from reliable sources that the goggles did nothing for him. Sucks, man. It really does. So on anything like this, people need to be safe. People need to be taken care of. You need to do your due diligence and not forget that the little guy is just as important. In fact, sometimes more important to the functionality of a set. So after his death, extensive protocols were created for the business. Yeah, Brandon Lee's death was extremely tragic. Yep. It's crazy, man. I do have an article I want to talk about at some point. We're going to wait to talk about this, though. It's actually about AI. It's a whole fucking subject. But I'm going to wait to talk about it because it is a big topic. It's pretty fascinating, and I do want to go in depth on it because I think it's an interesting conversation to have with just anybody in general. But I am winding down. I'm getting tired again. I'm not feeling great still. I mean, I'm feeling a little bit better than I was, but I don't want to push myself. So I do think Can you define AI for me, including how many words it is? That's why. Now I'm gonna call it here, guys. I knew it was gonna be a shorter stream. I don't want it to be a shorter stream, but I'm getting tired. And I don't want to fall asleep on stream. That's the biggest thing. But I'll read the last thing for Rough Knight says blank rounds can still be fatal depending on how they're handled. Absolutely, man. Mickey's all tired out. That's wild. What a wild thing to say, bro. Old people problems. I'm just sick, bro. I'm just sick. I should feel better tomorrow. As long as I'm feeling better, we'll try to get to some more Sneak Meek. I'm trying to get this Metal Gear Solid done because I want to keep playing it, but I really want to get to Metal Gear Solid 3. But I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for hanging out with old sick Mike. I hope you guys were entertained. I hope you had a good time. Thank you for everybody that sent super chats, subscribed over on Kick. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. We'll do another stream soon. Anybody that was on here that was also sick, I hope you feel better as well. Get some rest, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.